Hope you're all having a good week so far, and welcome back to the second part of our bi-weekly Q&A session where we'll be answering your private housing queries. So over the past week, you've continued to send those in. So without further ado, I'm going to try and answer those for you now. So as well as Imperial Home Solutions, where you can post messages about the kind of flat or flatmate that you're looking for, we have also recently created a Facebook group called Imperial Student Hub Find a Flatmate. And the Find a Flatmate group is exclusively for Imperial College students who want to live in London. The group is moderated by us, the Student Hub, and in order to join, you'll need to email accommodation@imperial.ac.uk together with your CID and the email that you use for the Facebook account, and then we will add you to the group. The Imperial Home Solutions message board and the Find a Flatmate group, as I've said before, they're exclusively for Imperial College students. So the responses are vetted and access is only given to those that are registered with us. Please also remember that it's quite early days as well. Due to the current pandemic, a lot of students are still waiting for restrictions to be lifted, and they haven't finalised the dates for when they're coming back or returning. So try not to worry too much at the moment. There's plenty of time. So we just want to stress that to you all. So as well as the groups that we have, there are lots of other options out there, such as Spare Room, Ideal Flatmate, etc. So whilst these groups don't display house shares for students exclusively, they often have an option to filter the search results so you can look for students. However, please be aware that if you live with someone who is in full-time employment and not studying, then council tax will be imposed on the property and you may be asked to pay a percentage of the cost. You're also responsible for proving that you are exempt. So if you need to download a statement of registration, you can do so from the My Imperial website. And if you want further advice on this, you can also find council tax for students on the Citizens Advice pages. Please also remember that websites such as Spare Room and Gumtree, etc., they are not affiliated with Imperial College London. So when you are using their websites and you're browsing through properties, looking for flatmates, please do use your common sense and judgment. If something looks too good to be true, then it's probably not. If you find a flat or a flatmate that is describing something in Chelsea, all inclusive, £200 a month, and everything is, it's too good to be true, then it's probably not. So just think twice about that. And if you have any doubts, then please do email us. We will happily check over anything and advise you on that. And you can also check out more information on protecting yourself against scams on our website. Finally, don't rush into living with people that you don't know very well. Living together in private accommodation, it can be very different, and contracts are legally binding. So we'd advise before you rush into anything, please do choose your flatmates wisely. And a few things that you can be thinking about are, will they pay their rent on time? Do they act in a responsible way, for example? And do you have the same schedule? Will you be going to bed early, or do you all prefer to stay up late? And do you all have the same budget? Are you looking to pay, the same price for a property? And in the current situation, you could organise a Skype meeting or a video call just to discuss these questions amongst yourself before you sign a contract. It's so important to choose the right person to live with, the right housemates. So we just want to stress this to you. If you've signed a tenancy that runs through the summer term, then you would need to pay your regular payment. Remember that you are bound by the terms and conditions of your contract until you're able to terminate it, and these include your payment obligations. So if you've signed a contract which runs through the summer term, then you are liable to pay the rent for that. Please also remember that if you're not in occupation of the accommodation, you will also need to inform your agent or landlord, as this could have an effect on the condition of the property. For example, if a pipe bursts or the property gets broken into, if any damage is caused, then you would be held liable. So please do make sure you inform your agent and landlord if you won't be staying in the accommodation during the summer. Also remember that you will also still be liable for the accommodation, the bills and utilities, gas, electricity. If you're not sure whether you're wanting to stay in the accommodation during the summer, then please be sure to discuss this with the agent or landlord before you sign a tenancy agreement. Some will rent for the academic year, whilst others will only rent for the full year, for example. So do not sign an agreement if you're not happy with the length of it. As remember, you'll still be liable to pay until the fixed term ends or until you are able to terminate that. So that's the end of this week's Q&A session. All the information I've spoken about will be available in a link below this video, so please make sure you check that out. And if you've got any further questions, you can use the hashtag RoadToPrivateHousing, and then we'll be sure to answer that in the next Q&A session.